parts onto it.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Can't see.
There he is.
Yeah. Now you look normal.
From Neo to K-Dot, just like that.
All right, James. How about you count us down, sir?
Oh, wow. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the show.
What was that move?
I don't know. I always do like a little shimmy.
I do like the old like 90s TV show Look Up.
Oh my God.
It's just like you're doing the dishes and stuff.
Yeah.
Camera.
I'll see why Mauricio went on vacation.
Welcome to ASOS.
Yeah. Welcome back. To another,
You know what show did the best one of that was Family Matters.
Oh yeah.
It's like Carl walking in through the door, and he's hanging up his stuff, and it turns around, looks at the camera. It's so good. It's so good.
God, I hate it.
Even though like 2 seasons in, they killed half the family and nobody knew anything. Nobody said anything.
Wait, what?
You don't remember? Are you a Family Matters fan?
Didn't the mom just change and nobody
It was
said
like
anything?
Richie was there, the aunt was there, the girl was there, and then it just gone.
Yeah, they went to go do other things, and then
It was like-
Family Matters blew up.
What happened to Richie? And then Family Members got really shitty with like Stefan in space and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It's just like,
oh my God.
all right, you're going too far.
I think I've watched the first 2 seasons of that like 40 times.
Dude, Family Matters is shit.
So
It's
good.
a rare condition, this day and age, to read any good news on a newspaper page. I can keep saying.
All right. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going back to sports.
Love
Did
tradition.
you get it out? Did you get all it out?
Some people say it's even harder to find. Well, there must be something.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What's wrong with him? He's got that Family Matters inside.
I'm
It's
happy
gotta come
Mauricio's gone. No, I'm joking. I'm really sorry.
No, he's on vacation. He's coming back.
Well,
So-
I feel like all right, welcome to the show. Since you're the new host and you're still doing the thing, welcome to the show.
I don't know.
We'll talk about it a little
I'm not
bit.
the new host.
He's the
You're the
interim host.
Yeah.
Interim host? Are we doing that?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
interim host.
Yeah. So welcome back to another episode of ASOS. I don't know what episode this is. Does anybody know?
10?
Episode 9 on the YouTube
9.
bit.
All right. So episode 9. Thank you.
Jeez, we've done 9 of these.
Yeah. That's 9 weeks. Oof.
9.
Long time.
Yeah.
Dude, every day is the same.
Yeah. So I want to start off the pod by saying rest in peace to Max Tuerk.
Oh, yeah, that was a bummer.
Yeah, apparently it was a hiking accident.
I thought he just had a
26 years old.
heart attack while he was hiking, and they couldn't get him down fast
Yeah.
enough. That
Yeah.
sucks. I mean, especially, you got to think. I mean, elite. I mean, he's very good athlete. UCLA.
Yep.
UCLA.
USC.
USC.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about how good in shape he is, and just
And he's 26, which
Yeah.
was nuts.
Way too young.
Yeah. So moving on from that, the first thing I want to start with is Dak Prescott. Did you see he finally signed the tender?
I did. He called up Kirk Cousins, and Kirk was like,
$31.4 million.
"Get
I was
your
very
bag,
disappointed.
young man."
Nobody reacted to that Photoshop I made. Thank you very
I thought
much.
it was fucking hilarious. I didn't realize that
Put
you
an
did that.
LOL. Yeah, I
I
created
didn't
it.
realize that you did that. That's
Kirk
a good
Cousins
one.
speaking down to his son Dak
You
Prescott.
want to show it on the
Get that
screen?
I could if I haven't deleted it because there's too much porn.
Wow. Right?
That's why my phone's always full. No, I'm joking.
That's.
Or am I?
I think.
Full of what?
Huh?
Nothing.
Let's see if y'all can see it.
What does it say?
It says you're learning, my son.
But that's the thing is like he had to sign the tender. I mean, you're not going to say no to $31.4 million.
Yeah.
It's just one of the situations where I don't know what's true coming out of Dallas anymore. Like, there's all the stories that you do hear, and then everybody says it's not true as far as like what he's looking for as far as the long-term contract. Like the Kirk Cousins thing in DC was pretty black and white to me. Was that the Redskins completely from the very beginning of this thing just fucked it up? Because what he was asking for from the get-go, we could have paid him that, saved money, and the contract would have been up, and we could have shipped his ass off to Minnesota or anything by this point anyway. So it was like one of those things where it just didn't make any sense. I don't know what Dak has to be asking for where they don't just pay the man. But I also know that the amount of money they just paid Zeke and the amount of money they're paying Amari, where do they – oh, you're still happy because the Raiders –
Oh, I'm so happy about that.
Raiders.
Like, they're paying him $100 million. Good Lord.
Might be worth it. He takes the top off. I know I don't – playing against Amari 2 times a year is not fun as a Redskins fan. It's just not.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's like in the big moments, like my man subbed himself out of the game.
Yeah.
What big moments?
Drive. Last year when they were trying to make the playoffs, like the final drive, he subbed himself out.
I remember they were like, the announcer's like, and Amari Cooper's on the sidelines.
Yep. And it's like, where's Amari? You're supposed to be the top receiver. And then they went ahead and drafted like what was his name again?
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah. The guy that I kind of wanted on the Raiders, but whatever.
Yeah. And the Raiders
now they got him too.
Raiders reached deep into their pockets and
Raiders got Ruggs,
Ruggs.
Who's in a wheelchair now?
Nah. I think he was on crutches though. Like
he broke his 5th metatarsal.
He broke the fast bone. He ain't gonna be running fast.
Oh God!
Hey,
like,
you gotta cut him. He's gonna be slow now.
Moving. He was moving shit. I was like,
you gotta send him to Dallas.
Doing too much. It's kind of like D'Angelo Hall tearing his Achilles making a pizza. Made no sense.
Twice.
He's in his
what?
So he was in socks.
He was in socks, and then he slipped making a pizza at like midnight and tore his Achilles. And then like 8 weeks later, he slipped again and tore it again.
Wait, D'Angelo Hall?
Yeah, for the Redskins.
Oh, didn't he get hurt by DeAndre Hopkins too?
I'm sure.
Yeah, it didn't. DeAndre, it was on a Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
He was talking shit to DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah,
they were talking shit back and forth, and then he went up on him on a route, and like, what did he break?
His full body.
I think that was the beginning of the Achilles and the leg issues that he was having.
Oh, so it's Hopkins.
He was rehabbing from his knee.
That sounds right.
He was rehabbing his knee, tore his Achilles, and then tore it again. Oh, I mean, trust me, I love D Hall because of Virginia Tech. I miss Blacksburg, but yeah, that was a tough ending. But he got his bag right before he left.
Oh,
so
yeah, he got one from us too.
Yeah, he just got bags.
I do. I still got a soft spot for D'Angelo. I will say, just as a sidebar, anytime I watch the Redskins players talking trash, it never ends well for us. Ever. It never ends well for us. So,
you guys think that the Cowboys can still get Jamal Adams though? Do you think they should go after him? I think technically they have enough cap room to make a move, but should they?
You're asking me to like speak on behalf of the Cowboys and like, do you want my bias to kind of kick in, or do you want me to say like objectively what I think they should do?
First objectively, and then your bias on the back end.
Objectively, I would say look to move on from Dak Prescott and get a Jamal Adams, because in the same thing we've talked about on this podcast a lot, I've not seen enough from Dak to know that he's that guy, compared to knowing that if they do pay him an exorbitant amount of money, which is going to cost at this point, that it hamstrings them from picking up other players. Like we've talked about as far as trying to get what you can get out of that first quarterback contract. Yeah. So objectively, I would say you franchise tag Dak right now, see what you can do as far as going for all of it. And if it doesn't work out, at least you got the rest of the team there, and you can kind of work on developing a quarterback again, as long as that offensive line kind of holds up. I know they just lost Travis Frederick to retirement, but their offensive line was never bad or hasn't been bad for years. So at least if you get somebody else in there and the quarterback class next year is going to be incredible. So
didn't they just re-sign Travis Frederick and then he retired?
I think so. He just got paid not too long ago.
Yeah,
but even I look at free agency, Cam Newton's still there. If I'm the Cowboys and I'm looking, I'm like, if I can get a Cam Newton and a Jamal Adams compared to just Dak Prescott.
And this article here says that they might be trying to trade Collins for Jamal Adams, yeah.
Lyle Collins, like that to me is a mistake.
Yeah,
to a certain degree. But I don't know. I saw the video of Jamal Adams driving his like massive Mercedes in the strip mall, and it was like,
G-Wagon, yep.
When you come to Dallas, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's the same thing with you remember the Eden Hazard video when he was at Chelsea, and they called him at the stoplight, and he was like, "Hey, Eden, you gonna stay at Chelsea?" And he's like, "Mm-mm," and drives off.
Yeah,
I remember that too. It was such a good moment.
Yeah, it sure was. It sure was.
Hey, fuck you.
I sent it to the group chat. If you look at my links, you would have seen it.
I got it. I downloaded a blocker app for all soccer links.
Fine.
Anytime a soccer thing gets posted in a thread, it's just a banana on the field is what shows up for me. And a racist sign.
Wow.
Some jackass shooting themselves in the nuts with a flare because flares are a thing.
Right. Let's talk about something that's just as racist. The Redskins and your defensive coordinator, Jack Del Rio. You want to address his tweets?
For first time hosting, that's a hell of a segue, even though I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, you are.
You get some snaps for your segue.
You get some snaps, but fuck you. All right, what do we want to talk about? Jack Del fucking Rio?
Yep, your mans. Get your mans.
He's kind of a mans.
He is.
Somebody's got to get him.
So Jack Del Rio, I'm looking at his Twitter right now. So Jack Del Rio went off on Twitter as far as a few things over the last few days. There was the fake Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
That was funny.
He then retweeted and said, "Really, dude, what the fuck?"
And then everybody's killing was like, "Yo, this is a fake fucking story. What's wrong with you?"
Then he goes into the Sports Illustrated article about the business of playing football and health and safety. I think most players understand the risk of playing the game of football. The priority is not trying to be perfectly safe. If so, perhaps you should never drive your car. Then he goes in the AOC. Yeah, wow, proof. Come on, AOC. Then he posts a black woman talking good things about Trump, and it's like, all right, this is not going to a good place right now. Then then one of the Redskins fans posts, "Just found out Jack Del Rio is a Trump supporter. Wish these old racists would stay off of Twitter." Jack Del Rio replies, "I'm 100% for America. If you're not, you can kiss my ass with $, your asses."
Like, what is he doing?
At first, I thought he was hacked.
Yeah, I do too. I
told you he wasn't.
I know.
I knew what it was when he.
You can look at Jack Del Rio and you can tell which way he's gonna fall on some shit.
But I'm saying I knew what it was.
Even though his last name is Del Rio.
It's probably fake.
He doesn't look like a Del Rio. But
he ate a good taco in San Diego and named himself after the fucking stand.
Oh god.
When we played y'all in DC, after the whole shit with when Trump became a thing, that's when our team crumbled because we went 12-4 right before.
What does that have to do with anything then?
He ruined our team with his politics.
He ruined your team?
Yeah.
The ghost of
it divided the whole locker room.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That was the reasoning?
No, Derek Carr broke his leg.
Okay, there we are. Okay.
No, but I'm saying we went 12-4.
Y'all still paying Jerry Porter.
Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I was like, don't bring up Jerry. Jerry was a great-ass receiver. But yeah, he screwed up our team. We fired him. He was out of the league. Didn't even get a defensive coordinator position. Kind of know why. And then he winds up with y'all. And I'm like, okay, have fun. Good luck. And I told you this was going to happen.
It has not.
I don't remember
so far.
I told you when we fired him that he was a Trump supporter. And I was like, our whole offensive line was black. Right after Trump tweeted all that shit about like.
I don't want to hear any of this shit. Okay.
No, you're gonna hear a lot more, but it's gonna be about your team this time.
What else needs to be known about my team? Dan Snyder is one of Trump's biggest donors. We have a racist team name. George Preston Marshall statue just came back because I hate black people. It must be. I hate myself. That's the only reason I'm a Redskins fan. It's got to be. This is the only thing that I've been trying to figure that out for a while now. Why am I a Redskins fan? Because I hate my people. Like, that's got to be at a core why I'm a Redskins fan. I'm a piece of shit. That's why I'm a Redskins fan. There's no other explanation.
You could easily be a Ravens fan.
Fuck you. I'm a Redskins fan, damn it. All right. I don't give a shit what city I live in, all these fucking purple wearing bitches. Look, there's no I feel like I have Stockholm syndrome. I feel like I'm with a spouse that beats the everlasting shit out of me. Sorry, not to make light for domestic violence. I know it's a very serious thing. But I find it serious.
But I love him so much.
There's no reason to support the team. They don't win. The games suck to go to. The stadium's trash. The team name is racist as shit. Don't give a fuck what anybody says. Our owner is an absolute piece of dog shit. But the only reason I was trying to give him any credit was opening up a parking lot for COVID patients. Whoop-de-fucking-do! Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm a worse. I don't hide it. I'm a worse off person for being a Redskins fan.
You like it. You're a little bit of a...
Dude, there's a part of the reason why I'm so not wanting necessarily take like big stances politically when it comes to videos and stuff. Like, I've been really deep when like talking about Black Lives Matter and everything. And I've had people, this is going to sound so egotistical, but I've had people come to me and say, man, you talk so well. Like, you should be a leader of this. I'm like, no, there's so many skeletons in my closet. Number one skeleton is not in my closet. I'm a fucking Redskins fan. How far am I going to get telling anybody what to do morally?
You're going to do one spot on TV and someone's be like, well, this Redskins fan, and everyone's be like, Trump supporter, and completely discount you.
Last week, girlfriend sitting right next to me. We started talking about the Redskins. She grabbed my Redskins hat and started flashing it in the air. Like, ha, you hypocritical son of a bitch. And I'm just like, I got nothing to say.
Can't do nothing about it.
So I'm saying Jack Del Rio being what he is doesn't, I mean, it's part
it should surprise you, which it doesn't.
No, it's just me trying to find some sort of, I'm going through mental gymnastics in jiu-jitsu to justify some sort of semblance of rooting for this team.
You don't have to. Like, you can pull a Ryan. Ryan's perfectly happy.
I moved to the Bills and we got Jake Fromm.
But you make no sense as a person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Jake Fromm's terrible.
I'm from Washington, 51st state, by the way. I'm from Washington. This is my fucking city. I love DC. I hate that we don't have new ownership and a new team.
Don't you have it like? I mean, but the Skins like they. Never mind.
What?
Never mind. They in their training camp in Virginia.
Not anymore.
Where they moved
to? Kind of. I mean, not Richmond, Ashburn now.
Yeah, like Virginia. Then the stadium's in Maryland.
Yep. They'll never play in DC again as long as the team name's a team name. We know that for a fact. But it's just like, we look historically, the Redskins are just, they're the bad guys. And I understand.
Easily go to, like, the Ravens.
I'm not going to the Ravens. I'm not some fucking hop one. I root for my hometown. That's all I'll forever do. I'll root for my fucking hometown.
I will probably
in the same place.
Still root for the Redskins.
This isn't my hometown. This is just where I live. I hate my fucking home.
All right. What's your hometown then?
Washington, D.C. That's where I'm from. Howard University Hospital, baby.
They don't play in D.C.
They still rep D.C. It used to be the Redskins were the team of the South. It was.
They don't rep it well. I'll say that.
Hell to the Redskins. Hell victory. Braves on the warpath. Fight for old Dixie was the name of what the lyrics were to the fight song. We were the team of the South. You go to Georgia, still a bunch of racist ass Redskins fans down there. You go to the Carolinas, still a bunch of racist ass.
They're the people voting against the name change.
100%.
Motherfuckers.
It's the only reason Snyder hasn't changed the name yet is that is one sect of the population of Redskins fans he can't lose at this point. Because most of them up here in this area, like you just said, are now Ravens fans or they don't give a fuck about football.
Well, it's going to be like the whole Confederate flag thing for NASCAR. Once the NFL allows kneeling, all those racist Georgia fans are going to fuck right off, and then he can change the name.
Well, maybe. That's my hope, is that enough of it just passes by where all those racist assholes are just kind of off of it. That's why right before we started the podcast, I sent you guys a link of the San Francisco 49ers are now going to be flying a Black Lives Matter flag.
That's awesome.
Next to the 49er flag and next to the American flag. You go through the comments on that. That's why I haven't watched the NFL in how many years. They're letting these monkeys do this, that, and the other. Like, it's just.
I don't think that's PC. You can't say that.
They're racist fucks. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, they care about being PC.
No, not you. For them. It's like they're out. It's like they're outing themselves on social media.
That's the only good part about it.
They've been doing it for a while. Now people just care. Like, a lot more people care now.
I've been perusing through my alternate Twitter account, which has shown me that
you have a burner Twitter.
Well, it's not a burner Twitter.
Catfishing people on Twitter?
No. It's when I discovered Black Twitter. I made I made a second account.
What's your DeAndre? Is that your name?
It's close.
What's your profile picture? That's the question.
Oh, it's the blank profile picture. I don't have one.
Okay.
I just use it for like scrolling through tweets, because my actual Twitter I made for like a music thing I was doing like a decade ago. So
fair enough.
Yeah, it was your way to be able to say the N-word in rap lyrics. People look at a Black Twitter. Tell me I'm wrong. Thank you.
All right.
Now
we're moving on.
Hold on. I want to say one last thing. One last thing about the Redskins, since you brought it up and you pissed me off.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There would never be a better time than now for Dan Snyder to do this.
Yeah, he's got all the support in the world.
If he did this right now, the fans that he'd bring back would be huge. The fact that right now you even see what's happening in NASCAR, as far as when NASCAR took the stand, and now you got guys like Alvin Kamara and everything. They're like, holy shit, I didn't know racing was this cool. He has an opportunity to be one of the people that spearheads, I was wrong, let's change this thing. My dad, who got me into Redskins, hasn't watched a game in 5 years. My brother, who was a season ticket holder for decades, has not watched or seen any Redskins-related games. He gave me a box full of his Redskins stuff, said, I'm done. Do you have all the white liberals that are in D.C. where on Sundays the only thing they care about is getting mimosas and fucking talking about soccer, goddamn piece of shit assholes, that if you bring them back into the fold, you can have this movement of people in D.C. When you see how many Redskins, how many Nationals fans are like diehards in the city, how many Caps fans are diehards in the city, how, from what I've been told, D.C. United fans are diehard in the city, Redskins fans want to be able to be proud of something. That they want to be able to come back, but they're not going to with all the bullshit that we have. There's a dude on Facebook or on Twitter right now who's trying to get the Washington Red Spears to be the name. I'm with him 100%. I love the name. You don't really got to change anything. It's same number of syllables in the song. You can keep the R logo. You can keep the Spears. I think it's an amazing idea, and it would be something that Dan Snyder could be on the right side of history for.
And I they can just go with Defenders. They already have those jerseys printed.
Yeah, and just have Vince McMahon sue us to bring the XFL back.
No, here's what Dan Snyder's doing. He's got a list. And he's like, the last thing on the list is the name change. And he's just like checking them off to see if he gets fans back. He's like, remove statue. Check. COVID place. Check. And he's going down, and eventually he'll get to the bottom one, and he'll be like, fuck.
I still don't think the team had anything to do with moving the George Preston Marshall statue at RFK.
Oh, no, I think these are all just his PR moves, so he doesn't have to change the name. He's like, look, we're not racist. Look there.
Yeah, it took forever.
We removed the statue.
All right, Bobby Mitchell. He was black, the first one. Let's give him a bunch of props.
Yeah, he's going down his list of things that are alternatives to changing the name.
We can change topics so you get off the rest.
Speaking about changing shit, Kylan Hill, the running back from Mississippi State. Did you hear what he requested from them to do?
Flag change.
Yep, he said they need to change the Mississippi State flag, and if they don't, he's not playing there anymore. And last year he had like a little over 1,300 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns.
Ain't a bum.
Yeah, so you can look at him as like top 5 player or their best player, like saying, I'm gonna leave if you don't change this racist shit that I see. I honestly see a bunch of other college athletes doing the same thing. And I'm interested to see if Mississippi State is going to change the flag.
So as of yesterday,
the state,
there's enough votes in the House to change the state flag.
It's not. It's not the school flag. It's the actual state flag of Mississippi.
Yeah.
So you have I think him taking a stand is a good thing. I don't think there's enough Mississippi State fans in the whole state of Mississippi to get them to change the flag just because he took a stand.
Football's different down there.
Football is different down there, but there's more than just Mississippi State.
In 2001 was the last time they voted on whether or not to change the flag. 64% voted no.
Yeah.
That was 2001.
And what is it now?
This is 19 years ago.
Yeah.
64% of voting people in Mississippi said, you know what? I like my heritage. Fucking idiot.
You even see that there's now a movement of saying that we'll have two flags. One without the Confederate flag, one with the Confederate flag. And he actually responded. He's like, no, that's not cool with me. If that flag is still there, I want
separate but equal.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
I've been saying on this podcast and anywhere else that anybody wants to hear me fucking vent that I'm waiting for players and people in this country to understand the power that we already wield. It's the one reason I'm still kind of on Kyrie Irving's side when it comes to the NBA thing. It's why I'm hoping that most prospects for colleges start going to HBCUs. It's
Mikey Williams. Yep.
It's what needs to happen is that we need to understand that we have power in what we do. No matter how big or how small, you start realizing how essential you are to making the system run. And all you have to do is come to a particular point in time where saying, if you're not going to do what I need you to do, then I'm not participating in what it is you want me to do anymore.
And you can look at the reactions from certain coaches to see that they can see all this coming, where the players are starting to realize the power that they have. Like Mikey Williams saying, like, yeah, like if you're great, you're gonna be great anywhere. They're gonna find you. You don't need these schools. And then this week, Coach K came out and said, like, yeah, Black Lives Matter isn't a political like issue.
I loved his statement. I loved his video.
Like I've always hated Duke. Like, just because I went to Maryland.
As a principal, fuck Duke and fuck Coach K, but I liked what he did.
Unless he's coaching the national team, and then I love Coach K.
And I love him again.
Yeah. Exactly. But now it's more so like all this shit is bigger than like my school allegiance or whatever. So the same thing.
It's not political to be in support of this. It shouldn't be.
It's not. It's not a political thing. People that try to turn into a political thing is stupid as shit. That's why they're trying to politicize Black Lives Matter. And if you watch Fox News, you got Tucker Carlson saying that Black Lives Matter is a political party because then they can consider it opposition. They can say that all these crazy liberal Democrat, blah, 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 blah. And you got a bunch of dumb idiots that buy into that shit where it's not in political. They turn mask wearing into a political thing. This is how stupid people are.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I mean, that's it. The easiest way to divide people is turn it into a political thing because then you have to take sides.
Yep. If you got somebody dumb enough to buy into that shit.
Dude,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, most people are stupid. That's the unfortunate part of the whole world is that I can see something and be like, well, that's stupid. But there's 99 people behind me who are stupid. And they're going to look at it and be like, well, that sounds right. I'm not going to do any independent thinking on this topic. Fuck these masks. They're trying to tear us down. Like, what?
But then they think the independent thinking is just being contrarian.
No,
like
they think independent thinking is absorbing one side of a topic and making it theirs. That is 90% of this country.
Trust me, there are a lot of white liberal people that do the same goddamn thing.
Murray State's is an HBCU, right?
Honestly, not.
I'm trying to find it. It's in Kentucky.
John Morant went there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of proof that HBCUs, like you can go and ball out and still be right in the NBA. I mean, that's a perfect example.
But like Murray State isn't a big school, so like, I mean, still, like there's HBCUs that are bigger than Murray State.
I mean, but Howard's not a huge school in comparison to like an Alabama.
Everybody knows.
But I know Howard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Howard, just because of what they've done as far as culturally and the zeitgeist or what have you. But it's like Morehouse, any one of these places. But there's also a lot of because of the pandemic, a lot of these HBCUs are struggling like hell right now because they don't have the funding that a lot of these big universities do have. So I think of any time to really step up and try to help the HBCUs, there's no greater time than right now. The thing when
Mikey goes there, like you're gonna have ESPN coming in like every other week.
Well, ESPN covered Ja, so.
Well, that's the thing. If you're a big enough prospect,
tournament time, though.
If you're a big enough prospect, you're going to get looks regardless of where you go. The thing that is a lot of those people when they look at, all right, I'm a 5-star prospect running back coming out of high school. The reason Miami, Florida State, Alabama are on the list is because it helps you as far as endorsements. It helps you as far as raising your profile. It doesn't necessarily help when it comes to draft day, unless we're talking about just the eyes that are kind of on you. But scout. They look to see wherever the talent is. If you were a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, people aren't just going to forget about you because you went to a small school.
Yeah, and they'll be like, he had offers of Alabama and Florida State.
It's also it's how your game translates to the NBA or whatever. So,
but that's the thing is,
you could be great in college and still be shit. And
I mean, we have the best hub for basketball players in the country, like 20 miles from here. Yeah. Howard could be the best basketball school in the country.
They're going to UMD. They're going to UMD, sorta. They're going to Mason now because what happened with George Mason.
They're going to
Virginia.
They're going to UVA. Yeah.
It's just, but you got to have people that have that sort of inkling. But that's all part of the machine. You don't see Howard on TV. You don't see Morgan State on TV. You don't see any of these places on TV where, in all honesty, if we're looking at it and where people, I'm not going to say should go, but from a demographic standpoint, if we had the percentage of talent, black talent, playing for the HBCUs, they'd be powerhouses. Yeah. They'd be absolute powerhouses. Now, it's hard-pressed for me to tell anybody what to do, but it's the same reason I posted on Instagram the other night what I consider the pledge. And if you're down with the cause, then we need to actually start making these. There's some sacrifices that need to be made.
Yeah, you got to take risks, and that's
instead of doing what I know a lot of people my age did, which was like, all right, come time to figure out what college you want to go to. Apply to Wisconsin because a bunch of crazy drunk white chicks. They're going to apply to Penn because I'm going to have fun. Like I had my mentality on it, which was I just wanted to go party and have fun, but it was like, what are you going to do from a societal standpoint? What are you going to do that's bigger than yourself? I don't think that in my lifetime we're going to see true equality, but I want to see the steps put into place that if I have kids and my kids' kids, they'll at least see something. Whereas I look at my dad's generation and my dad's generation who thought or hoped things would be different, and they look at me and they say, we failed you.
I feel like as far as colleges go, I feel like at 18, you can't really make – of course, you're going to make the decision. Oh, I'm going to go like to Tech or I'm going to go to Penn or Wisconsin because you're a kid and you want to have fun. But as a parent, you got to be like, all right, let's think about this. You can drink anywhere. Yeah. Except for a couple of the Mormon schools like TCU. But basically – or BYU rather. But basically anywhere. You got to make a decision that when you're 30 and you look back – that was the right decision, not at 18 looking forward.
Yep, and speaking of that, speaking of parents helping their kids with their decisions and stuff like that, right? Kadeen, do you want to discuss the Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. Story that we talked about maybe like last week?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I'm not.
You already fucked me over on the Redskins topic today, so no, I don't want to. I'm not feeding you your bullshit.
Double whammy.
No, I'm not feeding you your bullshit. You want to host? Wrangle a conversation out of me, cocksucker. I'm not your fucking monkey. I'm not dancing for you.
This shit is hilarious.
No, I'm not gonna besmirch a team that I used to root for. I'm not doing 2 teams that I used to root for in a single episode. Fuck that.
I mean, hey, look, listen, it has to be said because it just came out.
I'm gonna go back to the previous topic just for a second.
All right, fine.
I will say this. If you are a predominantly white university currently that wants to still use black talent to make up what it is you're doing, or make the revenue you're making up, then what I want to see is certain step goals being in there, which is that if you've got a place like, name some random school, like Alabama, I want a certain percentage of the scholarships or a certain percentage of the student body to be African-American at that point. I want them to put their money where their mouth is. It's the same reason that when people were talking about Yale or Harvard or like the money that they get, I'm like, or people want to change Yale's name, the name of Yale, because the name comes from a very prominent slave owner. I'm saying you don't need to change the name, but if you feel bad about it, how about in the next 5 years, 25% of your student population is black? How about you make those kind of step goals? Put your money where your fucking mouth is. I'm not saying everybody has to flee and go to HBCU, but you better make your universities more inclusive. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, and also if you're going to take the top athletes to the Alabamas or the Yales, you should have nationally televised games with HBCUs, so that they can also get revenue from playing here. I mean,
BET, it's just, TV1, where are you at? Why don't you show these games?
I mean, even ESPN. Grow fucking
you got a fucking Big Ten network, an SEC network, have an HBCU network.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who watch that for sure.
Yeah.
Shit, the drum lines of the cheerleaders 10 times better than anything.
I literally watch videos of just that.
Marching bands alone.
That is weird.
No, man, step team, like 10 years ago, that shit was the coolest fucking shit. Get out of here.
No, see, Ryan.
You see how Kadeem tried to change like the subject to make it more.
Is this the Yankees thing?
Yeah, I'm going back.
I love this.
All right, so do you remember the quote from Ken Griffey Jr. in '93 when they were asking him if he would ever play for the Yankees, and he said, "If the Yankees were the only team that offered me a contract,
I'd retire."
And I posted that quote, and then they just released a documentary on MLB Network, I think.
Yeah, but you can't stream it. It's fair.
I know, that pissed me off. I was trying to find it.
Fire stick. Sorry.
I think you have to get like I don't know, one of the streaming services that has it on that you have to pay for, like Sling maybe. I don't know.
All right, I'll try to find it. But in the documentary, he was explaining why he made that quote, right?
Yeah, it's because they ejected his kid from the fucking dugout, right? And they were just pieces of shit.
They ejected him when his dad played.
Oh yeah, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his father was like the security guard came up and said like, "Hey, no, you can't be here. You need to go." And he's like, "I'm just hanging with my dad." He's like, "Nah, you got to go." And then Ken Griffey like put his arm around him. He's like, "All right." It's like, "Yeah, just go ahead and go. But before you leave, go ahead and look at third base." And he saw one of the white players' sons just sitting there just catching like ground balls and shit. And he was like, "Okay, I see what time it is." And
wait, George Steinbrenner's racist?
I don't know.
Wow. George Steinbrenner is an asshole. He cared about money in production more than he cared about anything else. He wasn't a racist. He didn't make Alex Rodriguez the highest paid baseball player of all time because he's racist. He didn't make sure Derek Jeter was always – it's because he wanted his fucking bread. How many – look, Bernie Williams, there's a ton of guys that you can look through. Reggie Jack, all these guys you can look
through. The Red Sox are way more racist than any –
because they're Boston. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
so – but like they're your arch rival, so
I have an axe to grind with Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay, what?
How do I want to say this? I'm trying to sound as least problematic as I possibly can.
No, go for it. Go full steam ahead.
Are you sure about this?
I am.
No, I'm sorry. I figured out. Fuck you. White man don't care where I go.
You see, I have your back.
I appreciate you, brother. But I was gonna say is that just because there's a fucked up security guard who's pissed off because his wife cheated on him that morning, and he had an axe to grind, does not mean it was something institutionalized from the organization. From what it looks like to me, Ken Griffey Jr. had been around his father a lot down there when he was playing. No, and if you had one security guard say some shit, that might just be a misunderstanding between that security guard. I don't know if Ken Griffey Sr. went and told management about the security guard. I don't know if Ken Griffey Sr. went and said, whoa, what the fuck? I don't want to blame the organization for a security guard being some dickhead. I understand it's very hard. Goddamn, I'm defending the Redskins and the Yankees today.
Yeah, I was like, look, listen, man, look, I understand your point, but this doesn't seem like an isolated incident, based upon how strong he feels about this.
I have to say that also stuff that happens when you're a kid that's like super powerful tends to stick with you. So even if it was just one incident, it's pretty powerful. Yeah, it's a pretty powerful one, and especially given the time period it happened. I mean, that stuff. He's an adult now, so he's been able to process that and think back on it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the way he feels. That's the way he feels. Also, fuck the Yankees. But if that's the way he feels, you know.
And we're still waiting on the letter. We're still waiting on the letter to be unsealed.
I had a choice to make as a child in my family, whether to be a Yankees fan or a Mets fan. So I looked at the Yankees. I chose the team that had a chance, not the team that was already on top.
Fair enough.
Fuck the Yankees.
I know I was.
You're about to be bought too, right? Your team's about to be bought by like a billionaire.
Yeah, the guy who sold vitamin water with 50 Cent.
Oh, I'm just hoping it's Stan Kroenke.
No, the Rubin brothers.
Yeah,
right.
And also A-Rod and
I think they're a separate group.
No, they're coming together to make the offer.
Oh, they're coming together now?
I mean, they needed that backing. You needed billionaire kind of money.
No, I thought it was like they're one group, and then the Rubin brothers came in later as another group.
They're coming together to make the deal,
okay.
Which is good. I would rather have $3 billion to play with than $1 billion. You know.
I thought the Rubin brothers were worth like $30 billion.
I mean, in what they're going to invest in the team.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean,
fair enough.
I mean, we could get Mike Trout out of LA kind of money.
Isn't there a salary cap?
Huh? In baseball? Fuck no.
Luxury tax.
Oh, it's not?
No, you luxury tax the shit out of it. That's why fucking.
You got money.
That's why the Yankees have $1 billion in luxury tax every year because they're like
not anymore. After George died, they've cut back.
Yeah, well, it's how long, and then they had like a couple.
Well, we're gonna see how they got their competitive advantage soon with that whole seal letter.
They paid the best players.
That's also something they did. That's also something they did.
Also, I will say for the record,
it could be worse than Astros.
I say
that's what I'll say.
It's not going to be worse than the Astros.
I'm saying that's what I read.
I'm putting it down right now. That's not worse than the Astros.
We don't know because we haven't seen the letter.
I'm saying it didn't. I know the organization.
Why are they so emphatic about it not coming out then?
Because
they have a brand. They're the biggest brand of all.
And they're saying it could have catastrophic
and it was also
the brand.
It's a confidential communication. You don't.
I don't. It's just a bunch of contrarian assholes trying to bring the Masters down.
You're not going to be this hard pressed about it.
I'm not even a Yankees fan anymore. What the fuck y'all doing to me right now?
I'm not going to let you
in my phone. Why are you defending them if you're not a fan?
I loved them when I was a kid. I still root for them. From
all right, you can love shit as a kid, but not anymore.
What? Like racism? I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my favorite topic as a child. God.
My parents used to put Birth of a Nation on as I went to sleep.
Wow.
Are you 12?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, at the end of the day, even though I'm still saying that the particular incident with Kenny Griffey might have just been a rogue security guard, it's not so hard-pressed for me to believe that any team owner in New York is a racist asshole. Just look at James Dolan or anyone else. They only care about green more than anything else. They're elitist assholes in New York. You care about them. Where's the president from?
Westchester?
Rich-ass New Yorkers is like basically what it is that just as much racism exists in the North as it does in the South. It's just not as stereotypically looked at. And
well, I mean, it's because they say it at dinner parties, not at Klan rallies.
Bingo.
I mean, I know this. I have family members from the richest county in the country. And my grandparents were not racist, but they weren't ever they didn't have black friends.
Okay.
They weren't the ones that ran around saying the N-word. They would say, "Oh, those urban people and their problems." It would have. They
just never were really around black people that much. So they weren't It didn't say anything racist except for one type of nut.
Would you like to say what it was?
No, I would not. No. I was shocked as a child. Yeah, it's not the real name for that nut, but
I'm confused.
Really? Oh, it's not something I'm going to say, but I'll send you an article about it.
It's an educational moment, right? So you're willing to type it on my computer and send it to him, but you can't say it?
I'm going to type nut with a racist name. Yeah, and then I'll click on that article and send it to you.
It's like the Louis C.K. joke. I don't know if I can bring up Louis C.K. because he's canceled, but still.
Is he canceled? He just did a stand-up. It was fantastic. Didn't we all watch it?
On Twitter, there were tons of people that were, I watched the first night it came out, but there was a lot of people that were anti it because.
Do you guys follow Anthony Jeselnik on Twitter?
No.
So
he's really mean.
Yeah, I like him.
Wow.
Yep.
Bruh.
Would you like to share?
The fuck? Yeah. Hold on, bruh. What type of shit? Bam.
What's the name?
All right, the quote unquote the PC name of it is the Brazil nut, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying what it's called. God damn. Yeah, don't ever say that shit, right?
Racist.
I've never once said it.
This is crazy. No, I'm sure you wouldn't have said it because what the fuck?
Look it up.
That's what the white people in the North call those nuts, but they do it at dinner parties, not at clam wrap.
That's crazy.
I see butt nut.
Nope. Type in Brazil nut.
I'm on the Wikipedia thing.
If he types Brazil nut in his computer, it's going to be all porn.
It is all porn. It's all like shaven porn.
It's shaven Brazil nuts.
Brazil nut tree. No, I don't want the nut tree. I just want the nut.
No.
Just want the nut. Pause. Maybe I don't know.
I'm about to send it to the group chat.
I don't know. I can't find it.
I just sent it to the group chat. I just sent it to the group chat.
I didn't get it yet.
Okay.
Oh, here it is.
That is nuts.
Looking. Oh, it's nuts.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, nigger toes. That's not cool though.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Not at all. Okay. So, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
So Ryan, your grandpappy walking around in whatever. Hand me a bottle of them nigger toes. It's kind of fucked up.
Well, he's been dead for a decade, so.
Well, God bless his racist ass.
Too bad he couldn't be here to see the movement.
That's not funny.
And you're still laughing.
Oh, totally, because it's all fucked up. And if you can't laugh, you just kill yourself.
Oh, I guess my grandpa had black friends because he was in the war.
That does not mean he had black friends.
I mean, you slept with them and hung out with them literally every day. He's on D-Day.
Yeah, but a lot of black people were in their own units.
I mean, he's got pictures with a lot of black.
Just because they cooked him dinner and like
no, they were servicemen with him. So
no, we're not doing this. We're going too far.
I just watched the Five Bloods, man. I'm feeling it.
Okay, that was Vietnam. No, that's World War II.
Kadeem, take a rest. We're about to talk about soccer now.
Cool.
All right, so Ryan.
Yes.
Liverpool just won the league.
Allegedly.
Samuel Jackson was really happy about that.
He is?
He's a Liverpool fan, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, they deserved it. I'm glad they finished it out.
Yeah.
I mean Chelsea always plays like the 2001 Barcelona team every time there's a league on the line. And they should have lost to Man City by 4 goals. And Christian Pulisic was like, nah, that's cool. Pulisic had a fucking wonder goal, by the way, K-Dot.
What?
Christian Pulisic had 2 defenders, and he just ran by them for 50 yards and scored.
Was that impressive?
Yeah. He got them all turned. It's like if you watch a post route where there's 2 CBs on one guy, and then he just fakes him out and scores a touchdown. That's effectively what happened here. It was awesome.
Like Josh Gordon would do for the Redskins in a few months. I can't wait.
Josh Gordon.
All right,
he's coming back.
Outside of Liverpool, because fuck them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's my favorite team.
Cool.
I thought your favorite team was Wolves. They're playing pretty well.
Samuel L. Jackson likes Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan now.
And you look a little Samuel L. Jackson. You look a little shafty right now.
And they won. Winners! Liverpool, go!
All right.
Where's my
so now that
Yeah.
Kadeem says that he's a Liverpool fan, I wasn't gonna bring up Naby Keita, but I'm probably not gonna bring him up.
What happened with him?
Is he a Liverpool player?
He was accused of something serious.
Oh, sexual assault, right?
Yeah, but yeah, that whole thing is weird. So we'll see what comes of that.
Like any other sexual assault, I want to see how it plays out first.
Yeah, same here. All right, so moving on to Arsenal.
Who is that?
Arsenal.
You mean the Champion League side?
Oh.
They're a championship side, is what they are. They're fucking falling apart.
Are you pissed that David Luiz got a 1-year extension?
I'm not. I would have been pissed if it was any longer, but I think what Arteta is doing, because we're about to lose Guendouzi, I think he's got a 5-year deal, probably. So he's gonna build his team, but you can't just let David Luiz go without replacing him. David Luiz, 9 out of 10 games, is an elite defender, and then 1 out of 10 games, he's that guy who gets a red card and gives up a penalty and an own goal. So I would rather him than fucking
lose that game.
But Mustafi is bad every game, and I will take a David Luiz over that fucking clown any day. But I think he's just trying to put pieces in place so that he can build his team. 1-year deal. He'll bring in a couple kids, or he's down in the academy. He's got someone to replace him as soon as that's over. I mean, this is a rebuild. We're a middle of the pack team right now. So,
come get Samuel Umtiti from us.
I would love some titties on my team, man.
Okay, cool.
We have 2 good defenders. Well, 3 if Bellerin's healthy. And then the rest of them are just trash. Like Holding, David Luiz, and sometimes Papa, but usually not. And then that's all we have. We don't have Xhaka. It's tough because we need that CDM back there, or else David Luiz is slow as fuck. Yeah. We're just gonna get scored on. So I mean, we're not. This season's a fucking shot anyway. So I'm gonna still watch the games. But
yeah, I play tomorrow, right?
Yeah, at 8 against the team we're going to lose to. I think we're playing Wolves.
Well, I'm still a little pissed because I just watched Barcelona give up a fucking lead.
Oh, I was watching that game.
Yeah,
I turned it off. I thought they were gonna win.
Yeah, me too. But Iago Aspas hit a free kick around the wall.
Ooh, dude, that guy's good.
It snuck in. It pissed me off. And guess who was on the edge of the wall? Griezmann. And I think we had like six players like on the wall, and it still went around and snuck in the bottom corner.
That's what professionals do.
No, that shouldn't happen like that. I mean, not with that many people on the wall.
Obviously, the wall was poorly placed. Then whose fault is that? The keeper.
Ter Stegen. Yep. So yeah, that pissed me off. And now we have a 1-point lead over Madrid, and they're playing right now. They might have won.
At least we get some excitement coming down to the wire because all the other leagues are done.
Well, there's like 7 games left.
Yeah, I know, but Liverpool won, Bayern won, PSG won like 6 months ago. Like none of the other leagues are competitive right now except for yours.
Yeah. Oh no, Madrid plays tomorrow. They play tomorrow at 4. Okay.
I just know Liverpool's in a really good situation. Ever since Jurgen Klopp came to town, we just knew we were going to be what it is we need to do. And plus, he's already promised that the whole team's going to come back next year. He's going to do his best to keep it together. Once you're the champions, you're going to reign supreme. Just saying. Fans went a little crazy last night with the celebration, but I get it, bro. There's a lot of shit happening right after quarantine or what have you. But Jurgen Klopp is the greatest. Liverpool is the shit. Let's get it.
I think he would
love Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, I think Kadeem would love him too. Like if he actually watched it.
He won. Did he not just hear me dropping that knowledge? Fuck you.
He won a Champions League game, and then in his post comments, like in his interview, he's like, "What time is it? I think all the kids at home are asleep. What a fucking game. Like on live television. It was so great.
Let's talk about 6, baby.
Yeah, let's talk about 6, baby. That was so good. All right, moving on.
No, one more thing about Barcelona, and I'm really pissed about this one. Did you see that we are swapping Arthur for a Pjanic from Juve?
I mean, it's a pretty even swap.
No.
Those
and
make
they're
it
giving
sound
us
like
10
you
million.
ordered the wrong thing on a menu.
Yeah, can I? I
They're giving us,
I ordered
they're
the
giving us 10
Pjanic.
million. They're also giving us 10 million.
I mean, then that's a great deal.
No, Arthur's 23.
Are they
Pjanic
throwing in a
is
cotton
30.
gin?
Hmm?
Are they throwing in a cotton gin?
No.
Bad move.
Well, then it's a terrible deal.
Yeah. So Arthur's about to turn 24 next month, and Pjanic is 30 now. So for us to only get 10 million is annoying as hell to me.
Yeah, but you're getting a proven player in Pjanic.
Yeah, but we need money, not another like quote unquote proven player. We have Rakitic.
That's true.
And I will say this. The kid we got, this 20, Puig,
Yeah.
I fucking love him as a midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, but he's still 20, so.
No, he started today. He played fucking amazing.
Yeah, but I'm saying
He's been
Pjanic
playing amazing too.
will play for like another 2 years, and then your 20-year-old will be 22,
Three.
and he'll play for 2 years, and then you'll sell him to Juventus.
No. The thing is, when you have somebody that's good like that, you don't want to put someone ahead of them. You want them to play to continue to get better. You need them to have game time.
No, you have that's the whole mentorship thing. Yeah, you want him to get minutes, but you
Hold
want
on.
him to be
So
practicing.
you're saying Pjanic is going to be the mentor? No, he's not going to be the mentor. Like, we still got Busquets.
I mean, he is a senior player. Yeah, you have Sergio Busquets, but you know.
Biscuits.
Yeah, his name is Busquets. I call him Biscuits.
Yeah,
There was
everybody
a
calls him
time there was Sergio Busquets, someone who's a cherry.
Sergio's Italian, right?
No, he's Spanish.
Oh. So they put like
Who's
salsa
on
on the
that
biscuit.
team?
But then you got like Sergio Aguero, who's Argentinian.
All the same place.
Okay.
Did I say that out loud? Can I might pick that?
You did. Yeah, you did.
Oopsies.
I mean, like with any trade, any swap, like you're always gonna criticize it when it happens or be really happy, and then it's gonna go one way or the other.
Especially
I'm
wife
saying-
swapping.
It was wow. It was better off us just getting money.
Oh, you
and
just
then
want to
using
sell
that
it straight
money-
up? I see what you're saying.
And then use that money to sign Martinez, or to hopefully get Neymar back.
Well, clearly the move that maybe that just wasn't in the cards.
We might use Griezmann.
lose him?
Might be, huh?
You might lose him.
I said we might just use Griezmann in a deal to get Martinez or Neymar.
I mean, that's a good, again, they obviously weren't going to just buy Arthur straight up. So in order to get that 10 million in cap, you had to do a trade. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you guys are trying to get money, it was either 0 or 10 million and Pjanic.
I'm not a fan. I'm honestly just not even a fan. I don't even think Pjanic is going to start. He's not going to start.
Soccer isn't even real this season, so who cares?
Except for Liverpool.
Like watching the game today, like it felt normal, like normal this time.
Yeah, but it's not a real season.
Normal. It's still not. The shit still counts to us because fuck Madrid.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like, Champions League is probably going to get washed and whatever. We're not going to even be able to watch it.
Yeah.
That's annoying. Oh, well. At least we got marble racing. Love that shit.
Speaking of racing, I don't know how much we discussed about the NASCAR, new situation.
We didn't have it as a topic. We brought it up, though.
Yeah, and then now it came out that it wasn't a noose; it was a pull rope.
They
showed
it was a noose.
They showed the picture, the photo of it. That looked like a fucking noose.
So the only thing that I read was the FBI determined that it doesn't nooses tighten as you pull down on them, and this one just doesn't do that. It's spun the wrong way, or it's built to be able to pull on without tightening. But that shit looks like a noose.
And did you also see in the FBI report that no other garage has that type of pull?
Yes, I did see that.
And it's the garage, from what I understand, has had that kind of pull for a couple years. Every time that there's one particular African-American driver that's there, it goes to one particular garage. So I'm just saying, while I understand everybody, like last week was this whole everybody giving NASCAR props for being ahead of the curve when it came to this shit. And it was like less than 24 hours later, they find the noose in the situation, and now there's a large segment of people losing their shit saying that NASCAR overreacted or that Bubba Wallace is the new Jesse Smollett. And it couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, that looks like a noose. And it's been there for years.
Noose. It's a noose.
It's been there for years.
The fact that
nobody said anything.
Right. The fact that like everybody was comfortable enough to see that as a garage pull and not say anything. The fact that Bubba Wallace wasn't even there. He wasn't the one that brought it up. He was at dinner when he got the call that somebody had found something. I love that NASCAR released the photo, and I love that NASCAR had the statement and everything good to go. The only thing that NASCAR might have done is in that initial press release about it, might have been able to put the word like allegedly in there as far as compared to race or hate crime or anything. But as a guy who's been a NASCAR fan for 20 years, it kind of just speaks to the fact that everybody kind of knows racists are into NASCAR. Like, the fact that that's where our heads all went and it wasn't that big of a shock, the fact that that's where even NASCAR went, at least they're being honest with the type of people that go. Even in front of, when the race was happening, somebody was flying a plane above the fucking stadium with a sign that said White Lives Matter.
That was at Burnley.
Oh, no. There's another plane. There were also, the roads were completely lined up with people that had Confederate flags on the way to the racetrack and outside the racetrack. There was a video of the one woman, I think it was at the same racetrack, that was telling her that she was going to raise her daughters to call black people niggers. There were lots of that shit. So miss me with all that shit as far as it was an overreaction to this, that, and the other.
I wonder what we're doing with those drones that we no longer using in Iraq.
Demilitarize the police, Ryan.
No, but I'm just saying, if we were going to use them one more time, I know some places they can be deployed and be very effective.
Never mind. I ain't gonna go into that.
All right. So
NASCAR's
not to kill you, but just to like wake them up at night.
NASCAR at its roots. If you understand where NASCAR first came from, if you understand who were the bootleggers in the South during that period, you get a pretty good idea of what the demographics of that sport are about. And
yeah, it was folks.
Have y'all been to a NASCAR race?
Yeah, nope. Fuck yeah.
I know that I've been to 3 now in my life. Other than Dover, lost track of the Confederate flags you see, and there's always an uncomfortableness when you're there. There are always, I feel as though people are staring fucking holes into me. There's always a bit of like, I'm sort of in enemy territory to a certain degree.
And you wanted me to go with you that time? You wanted all of us to go there?
I was telling y'all Dover. I didn't have that as your Dover.
Dover's
right down the road from where you're at.
A little bit more progressive.
Well, y'all gonna have to come down
Talladega.
Like
that's up
in the front end. So
it's up from where we are.
Whatever.
Just saying. Know your cardinal directions, asshole.
Fuck you. All right.
You want to bring up all my fucking fuck you. See, I knew you were gonna fucking go there. No north, south, east, and west, you cocksucker.
No,
huh?
Find a non-racist team to like.
No, see, you'd be the oh wow, I almost went real deep with something. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna go there. This is me being problematic again because you brought it out of me. You be the same motherfucker off the plantation, Harriet Tubman, telling you to run that way, and you don't fucking understand what you're doing. All right, so mix me with the bullshit. Harriet said, "No, go that way." But I gotta go down now.
The railroad goes that way.
You done?
How'd I get to Louisiana? I started in Georgia.
What did Harriet Tubman say? She could have freed. She could have freed 1,000 more slaves if they realized they were slaves. She would have freed one more if he understood where the fuck North was.
How am I in Mexico?
I mean, I might be there.
What? Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I'm on to something. We're on to something.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm fine.
Look,
so
NASCAR.
The last thing.
Oh no, yeah. I was. Were you moving on to another topic?
Yeah,
I was gonna say NASCAR overall. I'm extremely proud of the way that they are handling this situation. It takes a lot, especially nowadays, to see white people or organizations or anything get woke. And the cynicism that I have that they're only doing it for financial gain and it's not any sort of moral compass or anything. But then when I see guys like Marty Smith on ESPN look like he's going to cry when talking about this stuff, I then realize that there are people that exist in that sport that realize that to hold on to some of the bullshit of the past isn't going to get them anywhere they need to. Ryan brought up a huge point a couple weeks ago. Majority of the best drivers in NASCAR are not from southern redneck states. They're from California. They're from the Carolinas and very liberal areas. There's some places in Midwest. There's a coalition of drivers now that are not part of that Appalachia bullshit. And they're not going to stand for this shit. And I think that you'll see that slowly but surely they're going to weed them out. And if you got enough people right now that are on the outside of those tracks with the Confederate flags or anything just yelling, but not participating in the sports, there's going to be a whole lot of other people that then decide that we need to be involved. The best driver in the world right now is not in NASCAR. He's an F1. He's a black man named Lewis Hamilton. There are no black people that watch Formula One because of him. Yeah. Lord knows they will watch NASCAR once they start feeling as though it's a sport that actually invites them and wants them to be a part of it. And not just saying it for lip service. They actually mean what they say. They've taken a stand. It's more than I can say for Dan Snyder, James Dolan, and a lot of these other folks.
They risked for obviously a very good cause. They risked, losing a significant portion of their fans because they're like, well, this is the right thing to do. And we're going to make this change now. I guarantee you the amount of fans that they lose, they'll gain right back with people who don't watch NASCAR for the same reasons that people don't watch the Redskins. I can't support that.
Did you see the race at Talladega?
I watched highlights of it. I had it. I watched the end of it. Yeah.
The finish was incredible. If people watch that for the first time,
yeah,
and they're like, holy shit, this is what NASCAR is about. Look, I used to get a lot of jokes about people. How can you sit there for 3 hours and watch people make a left turn? You don't understand until you watch. Yeah. And when you watch and you get involved, you start realizing it's a hell of a sport. And I think that right now, once you get on the train, it's hard to leave it. That shit's addictive. Same thing that once you go to a race, you're never the same again.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's so loud.
Yeah.
I'm so hammered. Whew.
The fucking fumes and the sound and there's nothing like it. The fact that you're watching something happening and you can't really keep track of it because of how fast they're going is amazing.
Is it Daytona that you can stand in the middle?
You can stand in the middle of a lot of them.
Yeah, when I went to Daytona,
the infield
is so much fun.
Yeah, the infield's a whole party city.
And it had rained the day before, so it was just like a muddy mess. It was so great.
Yeah,
I ate like 14 hot dogs.
I can have that.
Nah, it's
cool,
man.
You'd like a race if you ever went to one.
No, I want to go to an F1 race. I want to go to Monaco.
No, I'm talking about a NASCAR event.
No, I walked the racetrack in Monaco like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's just the regular street.
Yeah. And there's a casino there, and then there's a museum. But they have like the starting line still painted. It's pretty cool.
How much was it like a lot to go there?
It's like the second most expensive place in the world. So
yeah. But I mean like
it's
like, do you remember the hotel you stayed at?
Yeah, Hotel Monaco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it. Like if you're gonna, it's a $5,000 weekend trip.
No, shit. You're gonna tickets were $5,000. The tickets I was looking at were $5,000.
For what? Flights?
No, the race.
To go to the race? Oh yeah. It's probably, I would say, it's probably $800 a day. Yeah. Between hotel and their food's very expensive, but it's super good.
Going to that race is a worldwide event. That's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I want to watch it from the yacht though. Like they got a joint where you can watch it like off the yacht, which is which would be nuts.
Just become Black Excellence and then get invited on Magic Johnson's boat. You'd be good.
It's might be
or
hard.
We just get our own boat.
It might be hard.
They got money.
Because because the way that it's set up, the ocean, and then there's a big ass fucking
it's not
wall.
that much. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bluff, effectively. It's just go straight down. I know, because I stood there and looked down, and I almost
can't
had a
wait
panic
for
attack.
F1 to start again.
I mean, that's another one of those sports that can come back and do it safely, because there's not a whole lot of people in that car. There's one.
That's another thing. NASCAR did a great job on that too, was the COVID stuff. Even though, like I said, none of these sports should be back at all. But as far as sports went, NASCAR did a damn good job. You even see him in the interviews and everything trying to maintain social distance.
Remember when I said that college sports is going to fuck it up for everybody? Have you seen what happened to Clemson today?
Yeah, they got, 17 more? But, Ryan, I'm gonna challenge you on that with F1, though, because there's a lot of moving parts and they have to travel to, like, a bunch of different countries.
You travel?
It's tough for them to do.
You test before you travel.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was like one team, it might have been McLaren maybe, where they had a couple people test positive.
Well,
and
I mean,
had to, like, shut a bunch of shit down.
It's the same thing that I said, I think, last week. If you have 8 people, you only have to make sure that you trust those 8 people not to do something stupid. If you have 150, your odds of having a stupid person go up tremendously. Remember when I said 99 out of 100 people are stupid? That's where those statistics start to come in. Because if you have one person,
they have a lot of people.
Well, then, I mean, it's less than you'd have on a football plus practice squad. Significantly fewer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your pit crew, you got your guys that are up relaying shit to you. But if you're
if you're not counting all the people at, like, the quote unquote factories, then
no,
yeah.
I'm not counting them. But you can socially distance that shit too.
That's
you
how
can't
NASCAR
socially
did.
distance on a football field.
NASCAR had that's why when it came to the noose situation, they were like, oh, we're going to find out who did this shit really easily, because there's nowhere near the level of people that are behind in the garage area anymore. So they just have the skeleton crews. So you got your pit crew. They're all wearing masks. You got the pit crew kind of stay together. The pit crew is not really communicating with the drivers, so there's not a whole lot of cross-reference that needs to happen there. Then you have the guys who work in the garage who usually allow the guys from the pit crew. So as long as you had, like, that collective that stays together, then you had, like, some of the people in the media, they cut down the media members by a ton in the sense of, and then who had access to what. You might have had some reporters that usually had access to garage areas, what have you. They weren't letting them do that this time.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a significantly smaller risk than, say, football. Like, that's why I think basketball is same way, significantly smaller risk because of the amount of people that you have. It's just a statistics game.
The thing is, though, with basketball, it's a lot of the people that are around are older, so they're higher risk. But speaking of that, the NBA just released a schedule, like, of them coming back and the first set of games. So I think it was the first pair of games is going to come in July 30th.
Yeah, that's the Pelicans Jazz.
And then the Lakers versus the Clippers at 9.
Isn't it funny that the guy that started the pandemic in the United States will be the first basketball game? That's hilarious.
I'm wondering how, like, his relationship with Donovan Mitchell is right now.
I read an article that said that they're fine. They've smoothed the things over. I mean, obviously, Rudy Gobert is probably horrified at what he did. It was funny at the time.
No, it was not.
And it was immediately unfunny right after.
I didn't find it funny. I thought it was stupid. It's like,
I thought it was dumb.
No,
like,
I mean,
even if it was just the quote unquote, like, the regular flu, right?
For him,
like, if you're sick, yeah, I'm saying, but, like, if that was me, I'd have been pissed at him. Like, if you're sick, don't try to get me sick.
For him, he thought it was funny initially, but the amount of regret and guilt and
like, you can see in some of the videos that he posted.
Yeah, for the last 3 months, he's been sitting with that,
and like, he's seen, like, all the people die, and yeah, I mean, it would be good for him just to get back to basketball, but yeah,
I mean, he made a very terrible mistake, but
he became the face of athletes with COVID for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and he's gonna have to live with that. But I don't think that's gonna affect, like, teammates rally. You know, I think they said probably all they're gonna need to say to each other in the last 4 fucking months. So if they're out there together, they'll probably be fine. They're gonna lose anyway because Zion's the fucking truth. Let's be real.
No. Another
Nikhil
thing that,
Alexander Walker is gonna ball Virginia Tech. Let's go.
Wow. Another thing that came up was the number of players that are starting to opt out.
Yeah,
right?
the one guy from
you got Bertrand's. He's opting out because he's about to be a free agent.
I mean, that's smart.
Yeah. Trevor Ariza is opting out because
he's a goddamn joke of a basketball player now.
No. He's in a custody battle with his ex-wife.
He has to see
and
his son.
She only gave him like a month window to see his son. It was like 12 or 13. So he's taking that time to see his son rather than going to play basketball, which
so he's not not Trevor Ariza of 15 years ago.
But still, he starts for the Blazers, who are trying to fight for a playoff spot. Then you got Boogie Cousins, who said, rather than come back, I'm just going to continue to rehab, and prepare myself for free agency. Then you got
he's taking care of his mentals and his
Willie
chickens.
Cauley-Stein, who's about to have a kid next month. So, of course, you don't want to risk anything. And then you got Avery Bradley, who does play for the Lakers. And his son, I think it was one of his sons, is high risk. So he wouldn't have been able to come in that bubble. So he said, like, I'd rather just stay, like, behind and be safe with my family rather than risk it.
I mean, that makes sense. I read this about the MLB proposal, which pissed me right off, where there's something in the contract that doesn't allow you if you are high risk, you are able to opt out and you only lose a portion of the prorated salary. But if you live with someone who's high risk,
you cannot.
That does not apply to you. Yeah, and then it said, and this is my fucking issue with baseball. It's so stupid. Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, and I think it was Nolan Arenado, the superstars of the league, they all have or are having children in the next month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? Like, if I'm Mike Trout, fuck you. I got my 500 million, whatever the fuck he's got. It's like, I'm going to sit out.
Yeah.
Baseball is not more important than my child. And I would, if they don't play baseball, I don't care. Honestly, I love my Mets so much, but like the NBA, they're trying. They got stuff in there where if you don't want to play, you don't have to play. The bubble's not right for you. Or if you think, I already have an injury plus this, it's not worth it. And they're like, that's fine. Like the people who want to play and can play, we're going to watch that and people are going to love it. Baseball is like, money, and that's all we care about. And the teams themselves, like, they just want to play. Like, and they want to do it safely. But if they're not going to give them the option to do it safely, I don't care. I don't need baseball this year.
Right.
If that's how they're going to do it,
this year.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Necessary. It's not essential.
I did think about though. What if you're like 90 years old and this was going to be the year that your team won, and then you die and then it doesn't?
I read something about.
I mean, that could be anybody.
Oh, I know. If that was me and I was up in heaven, I'd be like, well, let's be honest. If I was looking up on the games, I would be like, God damn it. But like, that's just me being selfish. We don't need sports. If they're not going to do it safely, fuck right.
We don't need sports. It's a bad idea. I think it's the third time I said it on this episode. I know. But as far as basketball, just to rehash just a little bit.
Black lives still matter, everybody.
That has never changed.
As always.
Oh, no, but people, Instagram and Twitter are letting me know that people are forgetting.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Fair enough.
But basketball coming back, it's still a matter of the COVID situation, which is not looking great, especially they're talking about going down to Florida, and Florida is kind of a hot zone now.
Especially
an issue.
All the old people in Florida, what are they doing?
That's an issue. So the COVID thing still scares me. There's still the huge part of me that says the return to normalcy as far as right now is a bad idea as far as the movement. I still haven't heard any plans as far as what it is they figure out to do as far as the protesting goes.
I haven't heard anything from LeBron.
LeBron has come out and said stuff as far as like what he's trying to do. He just came up. Him and Maverick Carter have $100 million to start doing more black entertainment, black media, which is huge.
Yeah, I mean that's great.
Those are all good things. LeBron, like I said, I don't question whether or not he means something to the movement, but this is where it gets in that sticky territory, right? Is that I can't say that everybody's wrong when it comes to the movement aspect of things. The COVID part of me says shut everything the fuck down.
Yep.
There's the movement part of me is kind of along those lines too. But if you're a basketball player who thinks that like your platform as a basketball player is where you want to be, or you look at the amount of years you have left to play and you're like, I just want to play because this is what I love to do, especially after so many months of not being able to do it. I understand you want to do that. I also understand you got some of those guys that don't have as much money as LeBron or some of the top talents. And they're like, I need this fucking money. I need this paycheck.
I mean, the LeBrons of the league, if they decide we're not going to play because of the movement, those guys can step up and easily cover the expenses.
I'm not even going to get in their pockets like that, even though I think it would be a good thing. But what I'm going to see is that I need Kyrie. I need those guys to start coming up with a game plan on if they don't play, what it is they want.
That's what
from the
I
league
think
or from anything else. Is that, well, to a certain degree, there needs to be a plan. Like, and I say the same thing as far as LeBron and the people that want to play. If we're going to play, this is what we're going to get. While the NBA has been the most wokest of leagues or anything, I haven't seen the financial commitment like the NFL gave from the NBA. I don't see them in a situation where you have, like, take for instance, the NBA runs off of advertising. Same thing the NFL is basically doing. NFL just announced that they're taking like the first 8 rows of every stadium and they're going to be able to put advertising or anything on. What if as an NBA player, you said, I'm not playing unless every one of the organizations that you have advertising with says that an X percentage of their management is going to be black? Or if you had them say, if X company wants to advertise, the only way I'm going to play for them to get their revenue is if they put X amount of dollars inside the community. Or if Target or Walmart removes 1 or 2 of their stores out of the hood so we can get more small businesses in there so that we can have an enterprise. I'm not seeing that kind of plan. I'm not seeing that kind of organization yet, which is why I even go back to like where it is that the movement itself is having some issues with me, is that I think being upset and being in the streets matter a lot. It brings the attention on you. And yeah, there are some politicians scrambling right now to get people to stop doing it. And every once in a while, they're right. Right now, I only see one jurisdiction in America that has actually gone out, and I think it's in Colorado, that said that we're going to get rid of qualified immunity. Where are the other police districts that are doing that? I only got one other police district that said that they're disbanding the unit. Minneapolis. None of the units are doing that.
This has always been my biggest pet peeve with just people in general. It's like, we're doing this. Okay, what's next? Like, politicians are like, yeah, we're supporting this. Okay.
And that's what's getting lost, man.
Next?
We pull down all the statues. That's not stopping someone from getting shot in the back.
What are you doing? Like, what? I hear what you're saying, Mr. Politician or Mr. Governor or NBA. But what are you actually doing?
And please, you know why they do that? Just because that's what's proven to work.
I know.
Like they'll just say it and then
I hate those kind of people.
But
I hate it.
But I don't blame them because
I don't, because it works. Yeah, it works. If it's the whole thing, hey guys, look over here, and then nothing's getting done. People eat it up.
Gone with the Wind. You couldn't watch on HBO for 2 weeks. Oh my God, we did something. YouTubers are now.
Why did they? I never seen that movie, so why did they take it off?
Gone with the Wind is racist as fuck, but it's an old movie. You just got to be able to put things in context.
The book was written like 120
You
years
ever read Huckleberry Finn?
Wait, what? There's a name in that book.
Yeah, Nigger
Jim.
It is.
Huh?
Was it Nigger Jim or Nigger Tom?
Jim.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't. No Disney movie's gonna be having that name in the fucking thing. It's about putting things in context. Some shit matters, some shit don't. Do I like seeing Confederate statues getting pulled down? Fuck yeah, I do. But you know what I'd rather see? Police reform.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather see them put in black businesses where those statues were.
That's what I'd really like to see as far as we're talking about the equality aspect of things. But I'm like, everybody's getting this all up in arms about stuff. But all right, where are we going to hold people's feet to the fire? If they know that all they got to do is satiate us to a certain degree, and we're still going to play basketball, go to work, create movies, do all this other kind of shit that keeps the machine going, why do they need to change anything? Because there's a possibility that if they said something fucked up 10 years ago on Twitter, we might cancel them? No, it's not enough. It's not enough. Just because you're not outwardly saying racist shit does not mean that we're doing anything to actually get equality going.
And those people getting canceled, they have $200 million. They're just going to go away and be fine.
Boom. Like, it's not.
And then come back.
And come back in some other capacity, or have some sort of shadow company.
Like the meme from Tom and Jerry, just sneak back in the
just come through the back fucking door. And the thing is, there's so many very simple ways. Like you were saying, K-Dot, if you're going to put a Walmart in the hood, it should be a requirement that all the locally owned businesses, not just black, but all local businesses, they should get subsidies, and Walmart shouldn't. It makes sense. Right. Like, Walmart is a $1 trillion fucking monster in the room, and they're killing off middle America and lower America because you can't just open up a mom and pop anymore because you won't survive. Well, now those people don't have a job, so they have to go work at Walmart for significantly less. Instead of doing that, why don't we not subsidize Walmart, pull their prices up a little bit, subsidize the mom and pop stores so that their prices can go down a little bit so that there's fucking competition and these people can survive. And if you're using your ad revenue as these subsidies, that works too. Figure it out. I'm not a numbers guy, but they have a bunch of those guys at Walmart. Figure it out.
But there's the other part is that then they complain about, well, the people in the city don't need any more money when we start realizing that every one of the rural areas has farms that are only surviving off of subsidies. Like that. Like
the entire Trump thing with China and subsidizing was all stupid. For farmers.
All the farmers are basically the only way to survive is government money. So there's this. All right, well, we're supposed to be okay with Walmart or Target or AutoZone that comes into a community, wipes out all the business and the equity in the community, and then they pay them a pittance, and the most you can possibly see is, I might be a manager one day. What the fuck is that? Yeah, there's no equity. We need something we can own. We need an opportunity, not a handout, an opportunity. And they're not allowing the opportunity to get there. And that's where I say that if you're an NBA athlete or you have a platform anywhere, you need to leverage what it is you have to actually force people to change. I'm not saying that in any fairness standpoint. I know it's unfair for me to ask you to do that. But if you really want to say you're down with this shit, how far are you willing to go?
Or if you're refusing to remove your Walmarts, how about if you're just going to pay your employees whatever the wage is, why not do a little profit sharing? Why not give them stuff that they have equity in that grows? Come on. Doesn't cost you anything.
Just something. Whether it be if you're working at Walmart, there's a program so that you can rent to own a home or anything or to give somebody equity.
If you're giving somebody equity and they work for 10 years and they build that equity, now they have a platform they can go do it on their own if they choose to. Just give them, it's just whatever.
I look at my father. My parents are some of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. My mom is, over the entire course of my life, she might have been, other than this pandemic, I can count on one hand the amount of days she ever missed for work, for being sick or anything else. She went to work. Same thing with my dad. My dad has been bumping his goddamn hump at Heckinger's and Home Depot over the course of the last 30 fucking years on concrete floors. Never missed a day. But even if he works for Home Depot until he's 120 years old, they ain't going to get him shit. He has no stock. He has some stock options in the company that'll all go away once he retires and that money gets used up. But no matter how hard he works, he's not going to own anything.
Yeah, there's a ceiling.
There's a ceiling. And it's that's the thing, is that we need to look past this shit as far as, they're providing jobs that wouldn't be there. No, fuck that. We need actual opportunity to make something, to own something. We need houses that we can pass down to our kids so they don't have to come out of pocket for the mortgage and the this, that, and the other. We just need something to happen. We don't need a system in which you have to think about becoming $200,000 in college debt to even have a glimpse or a hope to be something. It makes no sense. Some people are not built to be straight A students. I know my black ass wasn't. So I wasn't going to get a scholarship like that. So they need somebody to give them an opportunity. It's not your fault that you were born into a situation in a city that it's almost impossible to survive off of if you're not making six figures. You didn't choose to get born there. You didn't choose to be put in the situation that you're in. So what do we do to create more equal opportunity? That's what we have to look at.
It starts at the top. It starts with the NBAs, the NFLs, the Walmarts, the Apples. It doesn't start at the ground level. It starts at the top.
Especially with the black community. Right now, the segment of the community that have the biggest opportunity to actually affect change are our athletes. That's just period. It's not our politicians. It's not really our businessmen. It's the athletes. They have the platform and they have the funds.
And the musicians.
I will group
them in there. They are the culture.
Sort of. Because a lot with the musicians is that you start looking at the numbers of a lot of these musicians, most of them do not have anywhere near as much money as you think.
No, but it starts at the top. It starts with the Jay-Z's. It starts with the P. Diddy's. It starts there. It starts with the people that have equity trying to figure out how to make the business of music, how you need to change that to make it so that there's equity available to other people.
But that's what I need. I need Kyrie and I need LeBron to start talking to lawyers and politicians and economists to try to figure out how it is we go about what actually the community themselves needs. I've been saying T-shirts ain't enough. We've done that before. Commercials ain't enough. We've done that before. Taking a knee ain't enough. We've done that before. What are you going to do that's different this time around? And we have to hold everybody accountable doing it different this time around. Look, this year is not going to get easier as far as keeping things in the social conscience of people. Coronavirus is coming back with a vengeance. We're getting closer to the election. There are 3 debates that have to happen. I know I'm going to be talking about the debates. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about the debates. There's other things that are going to come down the pipeline. Not to mention this crazy as fucking year has been. I'm still waiting for the Killer Hornets to show back up and fucking shit up. Like, there's going to be something else that happens. There always is.
I'm voting Godzilla.
Yeah, like a Cloverfield monster or some shit. Yeah, I totally understand that shit happening. But that's my thing is that what are we going to do differently this time? Because right now, yeah, there's been a lot of over things. There's a lot of conscious thoughts in people. I watched 2 YouTube channels, Jenna Marbles being one of them, who I never watched really, but I just watched her apology. She just took down her channel because she's like, at least people are becoming more woke. Cool, that's a start, but how the fuck do we change shit now? How do we start effectively getting these things to get done? Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever live to actually see equality in this country. There's a good chance I won't. But what I do want to know is that my kids and my kids' kids have the ability and the opportunity to get that. So I don't have to look at them in that disappointing way that my parents look at me when they say that we fucked up.
I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. If you don't get the cogs in motion towards the end goal now.
But you got to
start moving.
You got to start moving.
One step.
Got to start moving them.
All right. So, Kadeem, was that your final thought?
It can be.
All right. Ryan, what about you? We're at basically like 2 hours now.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Mauricio texted.
Yeah, no.
Mauricio, we miss you.
Rest in peace, brother.
Rest in peace. He shaved his
head.
Good
bald though. Yeah. He's not gonna watch this.
Yeah.
That should be our cover picture for this episode.
Oh yeah, it should be. Yeah, nothing. Sports are not as important as taking care of your community, which is both for the Black Lives Matter movement and in terms of COVID. They're not separate topics. I mean, it's frustrating coming from obviously a well-off white man, in that there's so much that could have been done before now. And even like for the last month, just racking my brain about what I could do. It's still really tough as just an individual, which I think goes to the point it's got to start at the top. it's got to start with the smartest and biggest groups like the NBA, like the NFL. They need to start pushing things in a direction so that people like me can follow in that direction, because as an individual, I'm not smart enough to figure it out. So get on it. God damn it. Also, fuck the Yankees. I think that's
yeah.
It's a good way to start. It's a good way to end.
Yeah. I actually don't think it's that difficult, just being honest. Like, I know I posted on, you actually liked it. You liked one of my plans. Here's another thing I will say. Every single one of the things and the ideas that I have are not just for black people. It's even for you racist motherfucking white people that just pour in Appalachia that could really use the help too. But you're so goddamn brain dumb and stupid and shit that you're going to continue to vote against your own goddamn interests because you care more about your alabaster skin than helping a Negro out.
Yeah, I mean, these programs are for everybody.
So fucking stupid.
Like, it's 99 out of 100 people, K-Dot. Yep. 99 out of 100.
Makes me happy to be a minority.
One of like my final thought would be, I forgot who posted this link in the group chat. It might have been you, Kadeem, that the WNBA is going to allow the players to wear police brutality victims' names on the back of their jerseys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So
the WNBA got to worry about losing any fans.
Yeah, and you said wow, and
why'd you agree with me and then you process the thought?
I was like, hold on. I was just trying to agree with you. So
you shouldn't do that with me.
And I was like, hold on.
You should not do that with me.
The fuck did you just say? But
genocide's good. So you're learning.
What?
You're learning.
What the fuck is wrong with you? All right, so looking at the major leagues in America, I would say the WNBA is the quote-unquote wokest. I think it might have been last week somebody on here said that the NBA was the wokest league or something like that. Yeah, probably WNBA.
The same league, no, right? Same, like corporate standing and stuff. Aren't they the same thing?
I don't know.
I don't know what their corporate structure is.
I thought they're all the same entity.
Yeah, they're all owned by one guy.
I didn't know that.
No, I don't. It's not true. Well.
Yeah. All right, so that was the end of this episode. Anything else you guys want to say? Because if not, we could just end the shit right here.
Yeah, but you got to do the whole follow us on Twitter and all that kind of bullshit.
I mean,
do it.
Follow us on Twitter.
Are people going to get to this point in the podcast?
No, but do it.
So it don't matter.
Motherfucker, you don't want to keep. Twitter, we're going to be big one day.
Instagram.
It starts now.
We are.
If you guys watch enough, we'll start a For Fans Only where you get to see a chubby Peruvian guy pour honey on himself.
He's bald now.
He's bald.
Flows.
Oh, yeah. You just pour it on his head and it'll just drip off his white, wrinkly scalp.
But if you are listening at this particular point in the podcast, thank you very much. You're one of the good ones. Outside of that, yeah.
Suck farts.
Suck my dick. Whatever else. Woo!
I'm gonna. How you gonna tell people that listen us a second? Like the fuck?
Because pleasurable for both me and them.
It's on brand for us. All right, I gotta roll, boys. I will.
Give me your grandmother's.
Up in a little bit.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.